So the MP7 class setup I'll be using in today's video is the monolithic suppressor, the FSS recon barrel, as well as the 60 round mag, stippled grip, and the FSS close quarter stock. And obviously with the MP7 there's a ton of great class setups. This just happens to be the one I personally like. If you do enjoy the video at all, let me know by hitting the like button. And if you're brand new to the channel, haven't yet subscribed, definitely consider subscribing with notifications on so you'll be able to find your way back for more Modern Warfare content. This is the part of the video where I typically get away from the class setup and actually explain how to play the game using this specific weapon. Which in my opinion, I think that part is the important part, because obviously if you get a class setup and you're not exactly sure how to use it, you're probably not going to have similar results. And the gameplay we'll be looking at is what I would consider an average match, so you're going to see the entire match raw, uncut, with the kills and all the deaths included. The guy absolutely destroys me with that MP5. And once I spawn in, I kind of have a weird spawn. There's no reason I should be spawning over here. All my teammates are on the other side of the map. So there must be some guy in a spawn from the enemy team kind of blocking where the spawn would be for me normally. And what was kind of weird with this match is sometimes people would jump on the objective, some people were running past it. I think the objective was just kind of one of those side things that most people weren't paying attention to, which often happens when you play solo. But one of the best parts about the MP7 is it does have a large magazine capacity. It's very mobile because it is an SMG, but it's also very accurate. It has very low recoil. So for the most part, when you line up a shot, you should be able to hit that target. I never even saw that guy. I kind of peeked it. But when you look into that window, there's 3 or 4 areas that you can look. I just happened to not guess the correct one. I come right out of spawn. The guy's still in the exact same spot. Turns, happens to get me in his crosshairs. This match does start a little bit slow, but then I start getting kind of into a rhythm, going a little bit of streak here and there. I think one of the harder parts to deal with when it comes to Modern Warfare is that you're not ending up in the same lobby, so you're not learning the behaviors of your opponents. Whereas you could have gone and played a previous match and you know, okay, that guy uses the M4 with the 725, camps with claymores in the middle of the map or in this particular room, then you know, okay, I know how to deal with that guy. Let me switch to C4s or something like that. You can actually kind of adapt and learn how people play. When you don't have that, you kind of got to guess, feel out how the enemies play. Are they aggressive for the objective? Are they spawn camping where they just sit in their own spawn? Are they aggressive and push past the middle objective and try to spawn trap? There's a lot of different variables that go into playing a match. You can see my teammates are kind of on the outskirts. Not many people are pushed up. Trying to clear out the area a little bit so it gives my teammates a chance to push up. But it really all depends on who you're playing with. And then just as I'm saying that, I have 2 teammates run and jump on B, where I'm kind of covering that flank. One jumps up top, and then they're looking out the window. Majority of the enemies should be over by the A side. It looks like we kind of had a weird flip going on, where some of them actually peeked around and grabbed C. So whoever's by the C, they got to go and clean that up. But it's kind of unaware if that is actually the home spawn or the enemy spawn, because there hasn't been much movement. The guy just died in the spawn. This guy comes around, absolutely destroys me with all headshots, and gets that 3-shot kill with the M4. As I come around again this way, it looks like my teammate is jumping on C. I'm able to see where the traces are coming from. Turn around, take that guy out. I had no clue where the next guy was. And this is one of those things that happens when you end up flipping the spawns. Makes it very hard to predict where enemies are going to be. Makes it very hard to predict the overall spawns because there's a little bit of randomness to it. You're going to see how that randomness shows up a little bit later on. Whereas in most other previous Call of Duties, most of the spawns are heavily weighted towards where the actual flags are captured and not necessarily where your teammates are. There's kind of a combination of it, but it's usually weighted towards wherever the home flag is that you have actually captured. So I come out, take this guy out. He's kind of posted up with his little claymore. Take him out. I know there's another guy on that right side trying to get to cover, and another guy comes around that side. And you can see the spawns have flipped. And from my experience, this COD actually leads to more spawn flipping than any other Call of Duty I've ever played, and that is since COD 4. It looks like my teammates have the backside of me, so I'm just pre-aiming the doorway. The guy kind of slides right into it. It was really one of those 50-50s. The guy could have slid right into the door like he did, or he could have jumped up by the ladder and been up top and had a better angle to see me. So you can see a guy sneaking through. This guy ends up getting killed. I don't know why he shot for me out of all the different people. He ends up shooting me, but he ends up getting killed regardless. I come out and I'm expecting there to be a lot of enemies coming from the seaside because that's what was being captured. I go ahead and reclaim this, put down a claymore, and if somebody has EOD, they're going to give away their position if they run through that, and they're going to be a little bit lower health. I kind of jump across, note that there's someone coming through. Because that EOD went off, they're low health. I end up taking them out. They almost snapped onto me, For whatever reason, they might have stim shotted, it looked like, and that allowed them to get in the right position. Listening for audio cues to see if somebody's above me, they're in front of me, or where they're going to be at directionally. Come out, catch them reloading. And I think generally when I've talked to people or people comment on the video, I think this is the part they generally struggle with, is when to position themselves, how to kind of lock down an area, because there's some people that would say that this is be considered camping, but all I'm doing is blocking an entry point of people actually getting in a B flag. I don't think that's necessarily camping because there's actually an objective involved. There are people trying to work their way around the outskirts. You can kind of see where my teammate is on the far left side, over in front of me on this right side now by that green building. And there's people creeping out. My teammate's kind of blocking my vantage point, so I got to go move. I snap on, absolutely destroy that dude with the headshot. And that's a combination of playing to the strengths of the weapon and playing the objective. There's a little bit of a balance here. I don't want any of my teammates to go towards C, because then that'll influence the spawns. Right now, the enemies are all coming from the C area. There's nothing that should force them out besides those two teammates that are kind of on the edge, creeping their way all the way to that direction. As they spawn out, I should be able to get a nice easy kill. And that's what I was doing. I was mixing it up a little bit. Before, I was kind of waiting for them to come through, and then they're sprinting out of spawn thinking, oh, I'm gonna go get this guy on a revenge kill. Then when they finally come in, I'm already pre-aiming where they're going to be running around the corner. Their gun should be up most likely, and then that'll lead to an easy kill. I'm not sure exactly how this guy was able to creep around, but if you look at where all my teammates are on the mini-map, you can see that a spawn flip is in the work. For whatever reason, they really want to push over there. Like there's not enough kills to go around. I was a couple off of getting that advance, so now I got to go ahead and call in that VTOL, place it down where I think the enemies more than likely should be, and then I'm just going to kind of post up and watch B until I can actually move forward. I missed too many shots there. I back off. And what I did right there is sometimes hard for people to do. They don't disengage from a gunfight. The moment you feel like you're losing that gunfight, get out of the gunfight if you can. So a lot of times if you're on a head glitch, go ahead and kind of move away, get to a little bit better cover, and then go ahead and re-engage that gunfight if at all possible. Obviously, if someone's sniping and you miss those shots, I would just completely avoid that completely, because odds are they're pre-aiming and they're going to get that one-shot kill. So right now, we're kind of positioned in an area where I think the enemy should be spawning at C. We still have some teammates starting to push up around that right side, which people tend to do, instead of just leaving well enough alone. And depending on the map, sometimes there's going to be bad spawns that contribute to this spawn flipping, even without the team actually making the moves that would actually contribute to that bad spawn. So right here, you can see all my teammates are kind of at the middle of the map, still locking down B. We are up by 30 points. So we're still looking like we're going to win as long as we can get one of the home flags. And normally when this spawn flip happens is when B is most vulnerable. That's why I'm kind of posted up by B. Still, I haven't really left that area. You can see they're actually pushing on both sides because the spawns are that wonky. And I got to go ahead and get to a different position because where I was, they have a little bit of better of a head glitch kind of looking down on me. And then there's one on the left, so I can get hit from multiple angles. Right here, I should be good. As long as we kill this guy, we should maintain these spawns. And it's looking like things are going to plan. I dropped the VTOL in the enemy spawn, or at least where it should be. And then we start to lose B almost immediately. The second I jump off and not locking it down, the enemy team is very aggressive and jumps on it. As soon as I go ahead and peek up, I end up seeing where the guy was. I go ahead and take him out. It looks like he's in a gunfight with one of my teammates that has the high ground. And it's looking like, again, my teammates are working around that other side, which is going to potentially flip the spawns. That's why I'm being a little bit more patient on this side. It looks like as I'm peeking around, I do see someone. I take him out up top. I go ahead and kind of give that guy a little bit of time. I end on a 10 streak. I need some ammo. So I give it a little bit of time for that guy to re-challenge, but I don't even think he knew where I was because when I come back up, the guy is looking towards the C side. So as I walk through this next sequence, my death is going to be a result of a bad spawn. Right here, I take out the Psycho Gamer, kind of look at the area really quick because I'm feeling like the spawn is going to flip, but I see my teammates in the back. I'm like, no way it's going to flip. Push forward, put down a claymore in case it does flip. And the guy ends up killing me in the back is the Psycho Gamer. Literally spawns in the back corner of the map, which is kind of a fluky spawn in my opinion. There's no reason for them to spawn there, especially when I'm spawning right here in the middle of the map. So even though that was a bad spawn, in my opinion, it is a result of my teammates pushing way too far up. Instead of actually worrying about the objective and maybe having that united front somewhere around the building, kind of cutting people off from actually moving across the map, they're kind of just all scattered around. So you can see that I'm positioned up. I fired a lot of bullets. You can just continue to fire and I just reposition. I actually assumed that the guy was still in the corner. When I jump up, I was actually going to jump across someone on my team. It happened to call in advance. I turn, land a couple shots there, jump aggressively into the window, take him out, and with the advance in the air, I could play super aggressive. I take this guy out as he's running around the corner. I move up, I go prone so that they're not exactly aiming at the right spot. I get a couple kills there. Looks like those people gave up at the last second, and then I'm pushing across. I call the UAV. There's not even enough time left to actually do anything with it, so I might as well call it in just for the free points. Come across, slide out, take this guy out, and then end up getting the last gunfight. So I think I ended up going 36 and 12, which is nothing crazy, but I was playing the objective. Obviously, if I was just going for KD, high kills, I would have been playing that completely different. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy the video. Let me know by hitting the like button if you did. If you're brand new to the channel, haven't yet subscribed, definitely consider subscribing with notifications on. Appreciate all the support on the channel. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day.